What's up? Just telling everyone we're live. Okay, let me post in the signal. We got Discord. Feeling great. I need my phone. It's right here. How you guys feeling? Talking to myself right now, but you in the recording, me in the recording. Feeling stoked. So I won't take too much time to wait for people because I want to make it awesome for those watching the recording. And people can jump in and we can tell them to watch the recording. But today I want to get into consciousness, and I'm going to share with you a map of consciousness and a path, basically, or at least knowledge of this map of consciousness. And later on we could talk about practices of how to expand this consciousness. Now, the map of consciousness that I'm going to share is, let me just pull up some pictures. I'm a visual guy. Give me 1 second. I'm going to pull these perfect pictures up. I have Bing. That's a good one. But let's do this. Has anyone heard of the Kabbalistic tree of life? No, it's okay.
Hello?
Oh, hey.
Oh, sorry. Sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't know I was muted or not.
What's up, dude?
No, I haven't heard about the tree. If you can further elaborate.
Heck yeah. Okay, so let me just share my screen. Oh, wow, I have a lot of tabs open. Okay. Can you guys see how many tabs I have open? It's crazy. So many boxes. All right, doesn't matter. So this is the Kabbalistic tree of life. This is a very secretive and old version of a map of consciousness. And so a lot of where this comes from, this design specifically comes from Jewish mysticism, also called Kabbalah, not to be confused with people that are in conspiracy stuff that hear of, oh, this crazy cabal owns the world. It's a different thing, spelled differently. But this is the tree of life. Now, you can see in each of these, all the different circles, the centers, they're different colors. Okay, I want you to remember that. All right. So let's see here. Let me pull up the other the one that's not confusing, because this old school map, they did stuff a lot in code, because this knowledge, these things that I'm teaching you, it's a science, and I have mentors that teach me this, and this science was called the royal science at one point, and because only royalty was allowed to get access to it. And so now that this stuff we're in this new awakening, this conscious awakening, it's honestly started kind of warming up in the 60s, maybe even a little bit before that, but definitely after 2012 there's a big shift, and it's like the younger they are, all the kids being born are just like more and more activated, and so the consciousness expansion thing that's happening, all this once secret knowledge, this royal science, is now available to the public, but it's not like gonna be advertised. You're gonna have to search for it, but it is available. So this one that I'm showing you is a lot more simple version and more detailed version of this tree of life here. So we can see the colors, and how there's also colors here. Not that the colors are the same association. It's whoever draws it, kind of decides the colors. In the Kabbalistic tree of life, the other one I showed you, the map of consciousness, these colors are, they keep the same colors. They've had them for a long, long time. So they try to keep some of them similar here. Why am I showing this? Because this is a map of you. This is you, this circle here. And these different colors are different energies, different energetic aspects, and we'll say potential energetic aspects These are all the different energies that can become aspects of you if you decide to cultivate them, which that's a whole other story. And the practices they're in, there's many different practices and different lineages and paths. But let me put this really, really simple. So I'm zooming in, and you can see this circle. Each of the colors is labeled. You can see limbo. You see all that black is the hell down here, and you can see it's called pit of envy, pit of greed, pit of lust, because hell is actually a place just like heaven that we can tap into at any one point. It's not a place that we go after we die if we're bad. It's a place that we can tap into at any one point by our feelings, by our thoughts, by our emotions, by the things and the people we surround ourselves with. Or opposite, we can surround ourselves with heaven. I choose to cultivate feelings of heaven and energies of heaven inside myself. And so I find myself a lot of times living in really beautiful places, for instance, and talking to beautiful people like you guys. And so this map of consciousness shows once again the things that we can cultivate. So the energies, each color is energy. And if you guys have ever studied quantum physics, you would know that even the physical things are still energy. They're not actually physical. The space between atoms, it's a wonder how anything stays together. But it's that's the way it works. Everything's energy and more space than actual matter. So everything being energy, basically what we can look at is the closer to the center, right? The black hole, you can call it, the more dense the energy is. And the farther out, the least dense. So you can see up in the above here, you got these different levels of heaven that are associated. And then you can see going down below the levels of heaven, we have, it's called the firmament of stars, planetary, the seventh planetary, sixth planetary. These all, obviously we know the different planets, going down to the lunar sphere. And then we come to the luminous ether. So this is before the planets. So when I talk about chi, for those of you that I work with, and I talk about the white light, I talk about breathing energy, cultivating energy. This energy comes from what is on this map as the luminous ether. Okay. This is white light, God, source energy that we bring in, we cultivate. Now, the energies below this luminous ether are all physical. The hells it can experience physical. But fire is a physical thing, water, air, even though we can't see it, is a physical thing, and earth being the most solid of all these. And so we can cultivate earth energy. We can cultivate air energy. We can cultivate water energy, fire energy. Fire energy is, you can think about fire. It's passion, right? It's energy. It's also protection, or sometimes anger will express that fire energy. Water energy is the flow, is the feminine, right? And air is going to be more of ideas, and we can express that energy, and we get new ideas, and obviously our breath, also the life force. And then the earth is the solid things, right? Our ground. And so I want to make this really simple, because it's like, okay, I'm saying a lot of things. I'm talking about a lot of random things. To simplify this, the path to what we can call the path of ascension, which is, well, also some people call the path of enlightenment, right? But to me, enlightenment denotes that there is an end. When I say enlightenment, it's all, once I reach that, I've achieved it. I don't need to go farther. But ascension acknowledges that we are eternal beings if we choose to be. So instead of looking to experience enlightenment by going for ascension, we can continuously expand forever. So these are how do we experience ascension? We start to cultivate energies, higher frequencies. We raise our frequency. How do we raise our frequencies? We bring in energy of frequencies that are higher than what we currently have or we're currently working with. Now, I'm explaining this because I can't, it's hard to like tell you the difference in my mindset, the way I think, the ideas I have, You know, sometimes some of you get on conversations and it's like I'll blow my own mind, like, what the heck, how do we get all the way up with this crazy idea? um I it's hard to say the difference in how my mind operates with consistently cultivating these different energies, but what I can prove, so it's hard to like kind of prove and tell, like I can tell you, hey, my consciousness is completely different. Like when I tell you that by working with and cultivating higher energies, higher frequencies, and this is a lifetime practice and more, my consciousness has definitely expanded. I'm more clear. I don't feel anxiety. I don't feel depression. I don't, you know, I feel emotion here and there, but it doesn't run my life. And sometimes, you know, I used to have triggers where I'd get upset or sad or angry, and I'd be affected for like 3 days. That doesn't happen. I roll over a lot quicker. I always have ideas. There is the challenge for me is not coming up with new ideas. It's with implementing those ideas because there's so freaking many. And so these are all things that I can tell you, but I can't prove. But what I can prove is that through the last 3.5 years, almost 4 years now, I've been practicing. I did, you know, I mentioned this and I posted it on Instagram. You guys might have seen it, but I raised my IQ by literally 41 points. And it's like how else, and people, you know, I didn't go to school, I didn't go to college, I didn't, you know, yeah, I was trading and I had mentors and coaches that taught me things for sure. I'm always learning, but like I wasn't doing any brain exercises necessarily. My energy cultivation practices are brain exercises. That's why I say not necessarily. So through consistency, I I can show you in my IQ, but IQ is such a low level of a measurement of the experience I'm actually having. For those of you that have experienced like microdoses or even larger microdoses, imagine a microdose times like five, like a quadruple, or what is it called, a quintuple microdose. That type of consciousness, I used to have to take that to achieve it. But that's something that when when I'm feeling good, you know, as long as I don't eat gluten, you know, stuff that I'm allergic to, I have that that is my waking consciousness. That is my normal consciousness. And the secret to achieving that is not, I'm not special or nothing. It's just that I have been learning practices to start to cultivate these higher energies. And so the main energy is the white light, the chi, the prana. This is the one I talk about the most on Instagram and coaching calls and the course and everything. But as you can see, there are so many other higher energies and frequencies above that we can start to bring in, and each one of them actually is associated with different parts of our consciousness. And by just simply starting at earth, by cultivating more earth energy, we will start to feel more stable in our life. We'll start to notice our finances are more stable. We'll start to notice that we are just like aware. We're not, our emotions aren't crazy, right? All the way up to, you can just imagine what bringing in the different higher energies of heaven, right? Energies of different planets that are higher than the earth energies, how that might change or affect our consciousness, right? Bringing in more fire energy will give us more passion, more desire, more energy, right? And so once again, that's still below the chi. Now, you may have heard me say this before, but chi is the first energy, or you could say the last energy before things become physical. So fire, once again, water, air, earth, these are all physical. Even hell is a physical thing. But hell is basically the absence of all these energies, the worst hell. But once again, we can experience little experiences of hell, as you can see. First hell, the pit of envy, the pit of greed, the pit of lust, right? Wrath. These are all things that we have probably experienced once or twice in our life. These are versions of hell. Now, some people will live their whole life in these things, and that's what hell truly is not necessarily a place that you go, but it's something that you can experience on earth in this body. And so we us up here, though, luckily we're up here, we're cultivating by doing this, by being on this live stream, for instance. This is a way to cultivate earth energy. Honestly, all of it. I'm flowing all of it: ether, fire, water, air. I'm bringing energy. I'm bringing knowledge that will assist in bringing stability, bringing new ideas. I got the music playing, so we're in flow. So we got the water, right? So learning things is a way that we can cultivate energy. But reading, of course, nature, these are all awesome. Meditation, these things help. But the meditation, the yoga, walking through nature, those practices will not get us above the ether. We're cultivating chi, but it won't take us above. To really take our life to a higher level, there are direct, and you heard me say earlier that this knowledge is called the secret science. It used to be called the secret science. It's publicly available now, right? And so the this stuff, now that it's publicly available, once again, they call it a science. And what is science? A science is a direct, you do this and you will get this outcome, right? Hypothesis, right? And they do the whole scientific method and they prove whether the hypothesis is true or not. That's what this is. So there are direct practices that are directly, like when you're meditating, most people's intention is not to bring in energy. So when we visualize while we're meditating, or the wall sitting practice I talk about, right, or doing Tai Chi and breathing in white light, what you're doing is you're making that your intention to bring in energy, because you're putting your mind to bringing in white light to your body, right? So that's the difference. Now, there are higher practices that are created through the last, thousands of years, and multiple lineages and multiple different spiritual belief systems. They talk about this in secret, in code. The Bible's in code. Many of the religious texts, they say these things in code. But there are practices to directly cultivate these higher energies, and with intention. And there's some people in history who have worked with this stuff. Some of you have heard of King Solomon. He was a Jewish king way back, before Jesus Christ. Some even some say that Jesus
King
on this lineage.
favorite in is one of my favorite chapters in the Bible. If you read the King Solomon chapter, it's literally like reading gold. I mean, you read it and it's like, my God, like, where was this stuff in my entire life? It's all like broken down into like very small like paragraphs. And it's just like, this is profound wisdom. Every time you read it. And so I would definitely go check that chapter out in the Bible. Amazing. Probably my favorite of all the chapters in the Bible, the King Solomon one.
Heck yeah. Thank you for that. And if you want to go more deep as well, King Solomon, it's pretty intense, but he studied this stuff, and his books are available now publicly. They're called the Keys of Solomon. It's really intense. It's like old school, like even older than Bible texts, like how the Bible talks, and sometimes it can be hard to understand. It's even more intense, but yeah, it's interesting. So King Solomon was one. There's a guy where the original person that I know of that with the practices that I am learning, his name is Hermes Trismegistus. And I've talked to a couple of you about him, but Hermes Trismegistus, some believe that he was an Atlantean originally, and some say that he came from outer space. Who knows? But Hermes Trismegistus means thrice great, which was he lived in ancient Egypt, and that was the greatest title that someone could receive under being like a god, which the pharaohs were, just under the pharaoh basically. So the thrice great, the highest thing that someone could receive. He was so knowledgeable of the ways of the world and the workings of God, the mind of God, that they deified him, and they deified the Egyptian god Thoth is based off of Hermes Trismegistus. And so there are practices now called Hermeticism, a practice called Hermeticism, a lineage, a type of theology called Hermeticism. It's based off of Hermes Trismegistus' original teachings. I know there's messages in the chat. Let me check these out really quick. Earth, my body; water, my blood; air, my breath; and fire, my spirit. Exactly. There's a song playing in my head. You say, have some dope rituals that come from King Solomon's lineage. Love to share at some point. Heck yeah. So similar practices I do also can be called rituals, but it's working with these energies, scientifically working with higher energies, working with the chi, the prana, the life force, the stuff even above that, to directly bring these in. And so King Solomon, once again, he created direct notes on how to do this. But go back to Hermes Trismegistus. Hermeticism is the teaching. Hermes Trismegistus is the guy who wrote the Emerald Tablets, which was converted to be simplified in the book called the Kybalion, Kybalion, Kybalion. Now the Kybalion is really confusing because all it says is it's like it shows it talks about the laws of nature, the hermetic laws, the 7 hermetic laws, and it talks about the law of polarity, the law of gender, the law of balance, different laws, but it doesn't talk about how to actually work with these laws. So all this stuff is in secret, is to start to pique your interest, to dig, to go deeper. So where do we go from here? So study, research stuff. But the thing is, I teach about cultivation. What's the next step? We have to, in school, I don't like public school, but we could use it as an example. We have to pass 2nd grade to get to 3rd grade. Okay. So let's think of this in energetic terms. If you want to be ready for the higher knowledge, the higher practices, the higher workings, the higher consciousness, you have to graduate first. And so you have to pass this level first. How do we do that? The direct way, the easy way, is to continuously cultivate energy. Energy is consciousness. So every waking moment of your day, every time you're conscious, breathing in light to your body, really focusing on only that, nothing else, clearing your mind. And then just, chat with me. Your consciousness will get to a certain level. If you've done the sitting, staring at the wall practice and Tai Chi and breathing in light, and you're working with something like NLP, if you've done that stuff for at least 30 days straight, you should definitely be noticing some things shifting or changed in your life. And if you haven't yet noticed, then let's chat, because there's some things that we gotta maybe add or shift or change. But if you're there, you're seeing things change, and you want to start to amplify that and take it to the next level, then let me know. We can get on a call, and we can talk about what the next level is. It's not something I've really created many videos on. It's more things that I talk about just one-on-one. And yeah, but I can tell you for sure that what this path is, the intention behind this path, to summarize, why I'm showing you this map of consciousness, why I'm talking about this. First of all, it's inspiring. This is the path that I'm on. The reason I'm on this path is because every single religion, organized religion, would tell you that you are not enough without me, the religion. It doesn't say, and they try to say, oh, you need me, you need God. It's you're nothing without God, which is probably true without the creator. You're nothing without, obviously, our creator. But the thing is, the religion says you can only find God through me. And that is limiting. That is putting a box around God. It's saying God is only this. That is like saying only the Bible is true. When I realized that the Bible has truth, the Quran has truth, the Ramayanas have truth, the Upanishads, these are all Hindu texts, the Bhagavad Gita, these are all things that are similar texts, but all of them, most of them, are pretty organized, and they say this is the only way. So this path, what it does is it says that you experience God one-on-one with your own experience, and you can take the knowledge from all these lineages and be open to the truth that God is ever expansive, source, creator, the universe, whatever you want to call it. Could be freaking aliens, but so smart and so expansive forever. And you can experience that directly in many ways. And when you open yourself up to the abundance, and to me, that's opening up to expanding spiritually, realizing that, oh, there's not only one path that I can take to expand spiritually, saying all things are spiritual, everything's spiritual. Walking down the street in the middle of Las Vegas Strip is spiritual if you have the right mindset, right? Walking down in New York, also being in the mountains, all of it. So anyways, let me say that the direct reason why I follow this path is because all these other religions that I practice, and when it comes to especially Hinduism and Buddhism, they say that you can reach freedom, or you can reach enlightenment, or even past enlightenment, but it could take thousands or even millions of lifetimes. The practice that the lineage and the path that I follow, my mentors tell me that if you do it right, you can experience this in one lifetime if you want to, but definitely a lot less than millions. And so to me, that is, as a spirit, that's the end goal anyway. And Earth is meant to test us and frustrate us, and that's how we grow. But when we cultivate higher consciousness, higher energies, higher awareness, we start to actually become directly the co-creator of our world. It's really powerful. So anyway, and then the last thing too, I want to mention on enlightenment, just to really put it home. You know, I know a few of you heard me say this. I posted on Instagram a few times, but the difference between what I practice, the lineage I'm going for, the path that I'm on, and the path where I used to practice, which was Buddhism, Hinduism, just going for enlightenment, is once again enlightenment is saying, oh, once I reach here, I've got it. And we can experience sparks of enlightenment through life. I mean, take a bunch of LSD and you'll be enlightened for for a few hours. But the thing is, we realize that's number one, that's more, and number two, we want to keep that consciousness up. So enlightenment. So if God is an apple tree and we're all apples, this is the thing I've said on Instagram. Right, most apples will get absorbed into the ground or picked and eaten. But some apples will roll far enough away and take root and grow into their own apple tree. So my belief, number one, is that whatever God or source or our creator is, that we can also become that. And it could take a long time. I don't know. That one might take millions of lifetimes. I don't know. But the enlightenment process is only realizing, oh, I'm an apple, and then nothing else. So this practice says, oh, once you realize you're an apple, what's next? And having a plan for that. Because if we say, oh, you know, spiritually, you know, Christianity, it's like, oh, it's heaven or hell, and that's it. It's like, if we only believe that, we're limiting ourselves spiritually, which is going to limit ourselves mentally, which is going to limit ourselves in the physical world financially. So when we're really expansive spiritually, in the ways that we know that we can be, then naturally we're going to be expansive mentally. And of course, everything else is going to follow. That's what I got on consciousness today. Let me open up the chat, see if there's any questions. I know there's a whole lot.
That was deep and powerful. I loved it.
Heck yeah, good. I was trying to bring it a bit.
I'm
So
like inspired already.
let's go. It's like time to get enlightened, right? Amalas says in the chat, pre-Greek language, the original language of Egypt, the name is Jehuti. He is known as the scribe of divinity. It represents inner wisdom of self-mastery, understanding, knowing, teaching, and learning. Beautiful. This is Thoth. So I was talking about the seeds. Yeah, look at that. Sowing the seeds. I truly believe we're on a path to become greater gods ourselves. Yes. And so another good way to summarize this is that most people that stick with organized religion, it's like a child that doesn't want to move out of their parents' house. They're 40 years old and they're like, we're still gonna live with mom. And that's okay. Like especially in certain parts of the world, like staying with your family, like it's okay. It's a path and you could choose it. But what this is realizing that, oh, I'm a child of whatever the creator is. So that means I can grow up into an adult version of that. So this is recognizing that and stepping onto that path and starting to become self-sufficient instead of having to rely on religion, which are the words of other humans, to be your source to get to God. You are becoming your source. And that's why I follow this. So sometimes for a lot of people, especially if you go to church, that could be a tough pill to swallow. So what this says is that, you know, things that I believe, first of all, like Jesus, for instance, is not someone we should worship, but someone who came to show us what we can also do and become. These things and greater you shall achieve. Oh, somebody's about to go spearfishing. Is that what that looks like? Turner's going spearfishing.
Yeah.
It looks like.
Yeah, I'm going out.
So fun, dude.
Last lobster season on the last day of March. So today's the last good day. It's fucking gorgeous out here. So
It is.
I'm gonna go test some guns. Wahoo! Definitely get lobster.
Heck yeah.
And we'll see how the rest of the bit of my vacation, baby.
Let's go. Share your hunt after on Discord or something. That'd be tight. Send some pics.
Oh, like what I get or whatever. Yeah. I probably won't be doing any videoing or anything out there because it's just this is just like I've been working so hard and I'm just like gonna go like enjoy, take time off of thing. As you can see, I put in a lot of hard work and time. I don't know if anybody fucking got it on some of those calls, but you could have hit them with some high leverage. I mean,
You've
it's
been
looking
following.
really,
Yeah, I
really
gotta
good. I
shout
don't
you out,
know.
man, and I gotta really put you in the spotlight because
Please,
I'm
please do.
very careful, cautious trader, you know, and I'm very much so like, hey guys, you know, it could dump, but Turner over here, Juggernaut in the chat is all like, nah, buy more. and he's been calling it the whole time. So even though it's good, and I want to say I want to recognize you for this because you have been spot on as a trader.
Yeah,
For everyone, you know, why are you able to do this, bro? It's because you don't follow anyone else's charting. So
there
just
you go. That's
be an
the fucking,
example for everyone. You see that?
that's the key. And yeah, and it's not like I was just saying buy. Like I also was saying we were
I
20K and we did dump there. Then I said that they would hold from there and then go up. So it's,
fair enough.
but yeah, the main thing is like absolutely what Cody just said is that I literally had to cut out all the Twitter, all the nonsense, and everyone else's charts, and I'm only listening to my own charts. And because of that is the reason why I have this high level of confidence. And of course, it's because of all the time and energy and effort beforehand and skills in trading and failures. Amazing quote I heard yesterday is the master has failed more times than the student has tried. And
Boom.
so, yeah, that one hit home with me pretty hard. So yeah, so it's just been like, yeah, it's been a long process, and I would say like, yeah, like because of how spot on my calls, like there's a part of me that wants a little bit more recognition, but it's okay because the reason why I'm so spot on with these calls is because of the fact that I'm in the position that I'm in. And if I was in a position where there was like thousands of people or whatever listening to my calls, maybe it wouldn't be the same. You know what I mean? So I'm in a very humble position right now, a very isolated, independent position. And because it's like I have my back up against the wall, and the only really person that kind of has my back is like God right now. That's the reason why I feel as strongly as I do, um, about the charts
Mm.
and everything like that, because of how much like I've how much it means to me, how much time I put in. Is if it wasn't going, if it wasn't going to happen, how if it wasn't happening how it's happening, it's like a lot of the things that I'm thinking and doing in my personal life would be like for nothing. And so
Mm.
I do feel like it's not for nothing. You know what I mean? It's not like it's going to be broadcasted out anywhere. But to me personally, in my connection with God, you know, I'm being rewarded silently, and as long as I continue to be
Always.
rewarded silently, um, and just appreciate that and be okay with that, then everything else will come. The recognition will come. You know, the money will come. The glory will come.
This
And
brought up a
from the
really important point, I think, to mention to everyone. This is another reason why I think when it comes to manifestation, and things you're working on or working towards, it's good to keep it to yourself because the reward, the success can be that reward. But if you're going out and saying, hey guys, I'm working on becoming a profitable trader and I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing the other thing, your reward is that recognition of people like, oh, wow, good job, you know? Where instead, if you keep it silent, so you're taking energy away from that future reward being as big as it could be. So if you silently cultivate energy, and I'm not about not telling any, like not telling people. I'm more about focusing on only telling the right people. Because another thing with that is you tell people your focuses, your energy, you know, your dreams, your ambitions, your things, the things you're manifesting. If they don't believe in you, or if they have jealousy within them, everything is energy. They're gonna be, if they say, oh, you know, yeah, right, you can't do that, right? In their head, they're sending that negative energy towards your manifestation. So I only share things that, for the most part, with people that I know are going to expand on that vision, add to the energy of it.
And that's a great point. In the book I'm currently reading, the Kabbalah. I don't know if you've read that, Cody, but really ancient text from the Zohar from a long time ago. But
Mm-hmm.
what has what was that? Yeah, it's a great book. But what I was saying from it is where was I going with this?
Reading the Kabbalah.
Sorry, go ahead, Cody.
You're good. You're
I
good.
know
It'll come up.
I was
But
go ahead. Just,
I think this is important. What has led me on this path, what's got me to this place, and I know it's a big thing that's gotten Turner to this place. And Turner, he's dope. He lives on a sailboat, like pure sovereignty sailboat with solar panels. There it is. And all of his boats, he's got a whole fleet there. Um, there's a solar
yeah,
panel. Let's go. It's so
but
good to on the boat.
all myself. Yeah, it's all
All on
free out
crypto
here.
too.
I fucking it's Cody. All on crypto. I don't fuck with banks. I don't fuck with government. I don't fuck with all the rules that society puts on us. And I realized, like, yeah, like this is how it had to manifest in this, but this is like my personal home and my space. And so um that nobody can take away from me. That um like say I were to like break my leg or something, or if I was to go crazy tomorrow and I wasn't able to like trade and make money, like, and I wasn't able to pay taxes or whatever, it's not like I'm gonna lose this, you know what I mean? Like this is still gonna be here. And there's some sort of like it's like it's like, yeah, you own your house, but you only own your house as long as you pay your taxes on the house, and you only own the land as long as you pay the taxes on the land. And there's something about that that is just, to me, really like,
Trash.
kind of annoying. I like to store my wealth and digital energy into digital assets because it's so like interchangeable, which means I could turn this digital energy into a house if I wanted to. I could turn it into a boat. I could turn it into anything that I want to. I could travel anywhere I want to go and be able to take, hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars of me all in my head, and nobody will know. And I don't have to be like that person where, it's like they are they are who like their Instagram or their money says they are. Like I can reinvent myself any day because nobody really knows who I am, and I can have that anonymous factor that I think is really cool, that a lot of like celebrities and things like that kind of lose with the money and status and fame and all that. And I did kind of remember what I was talking about with the Kabbalah. Um, so like a lot of people, like when they do get like success or whatever, their success is kind of based upon other people's recognition of their success, and in that, a lot of people kind of like lose track of what their original purpose was. And like you could lose everything, and if you still have happiness, that is success. You know what I mean? Like success at the end of the day, it's not about how much cars you own, how much house you own, how much money you own. It's about the feeling that you have when there's nobody around, and what you have like when you're sitting down quietly. And
Right.
if you've noticed, a lot of people that do get success and are, widely known or whatever, they end up like not doing very well. If you've seen a lot of the Disney stars, they're all not doing very good. You know what I mean? A lot of
Mm,
young rappers, the dead or in drugs. You know what I mean? A lot of famous celebrities just happens that way. And it's just, I'm glad that they're uh, yeah, I just, it's a very fine line of being able to, in the Kabbalah, it's like there's this light, right? And they say that the light was created because we are like, the main essence of what a person is like desire. And like if there was no desire,
there would be no light, because we all desire something. So the light is pretty much a showing to somebody else who has desire, because if nobody has desire, then you have nothing to share with them. And so there is a fine line of sharing with people and not sharing with people. And so what I mean is, the point of life is to share the knowledge and the thing that you have, but there's a very fine line in doing that is still very, very tricky, that Cody is figuring out in a good way, in a healthy way, an organic way. um and But the point of life is to share with people the knowledge that you have, and you only get the knowledge from experiencing things yourself. And so there is, in essence, there's that struggle, and then from the struggle is where you get to share. And in sharing is the true purpose. Like, everybody wants to share, you know what I mean? That's why everybody's on social media and everything. Everybody wants to share what they know, share what they like. And it is important to have friends, because if you were doing all these great things, none of it would matter if you can't share it with somebody, you know what I mean? Whether it's even just one person, your spouse, you know what I mean? That is sharing. And so, yeah, there is a very fine line. And we all have to continually define that fine line between sharing in a healthy way and sharing in a way that is not healthy.
Amen. Yeah, and one thing I want to add is, like, there comes a time where we've cultivated enough energy, we have enough momentum, where it doesn't matter what anyone thinks about us, because we have enough positive energy flowing. But first, it's gaining the right teammates, like, I know now, if I'm getting some hate, I'm getting like 90% love. I'll get random hate on Instagram, and it's just like, it makes me laugh. Because I got, for every
Good.
But that's the thing, is that doesn't affect, because we have so much momentum going in a positive direction, and
Yeah, hey, if you're a person of high vibration, you're gonna get hate, but you're gonna get hate from people of low vibration.
exactly.
Because this life is there's no time in this life where you're not going to be struggling in some way, shape, or form. And so just remember, there's always going to be people from low vibration that are going to try and hate on you, and that's okay. You know what I mean? It's totally okay. That's part of life.
It's just a projection of their insecurity is all. And so when we see it as that, it's it doesn't really matter so much. And really quick, before we move far from the point, I want to just ask everyone, you don't have to answer, but just think for a moment, answer this in your mind. Did you guys feel like at all when Turner was talking about how, like, the freedom of, even if I lost everything and I couldn't pay anything, I still have this? Did anyone feel that? Like, wow, I want that. I need that. Right? So this is why we're building Atlantis. When we have all of our resources together, where we all own everything, we all have access to everything with ease at the same time. And there's it's not taxed, there's nothing, because it's all decentralized. We all own it on a digital scale. It's all worldwide. Like, that makes it so that we are free. I think that's true freedom, because even though, yes, Turner, he as he was saying, like, I still have this, there's still that liability, though, because if you lost everything, and then if a hurricane came, it's like, oh shit, what are you gonna do if you need to make repairs? But when we create an economy or a banking system whereby we all directly own it, we all share the liability, so that if any one of us is going through a hard time, it's okay. Like, we together, the community needs repairs, well, we're all together in on this. Oh, the community wants together to get a yacht. Okay, cool. Let's do it. We'll schedule out the time. Access to everything.
Yeah.
And then the government comes after it. Who are they going to come after? It's a decentralized system. There's no owner.
Yeah.
But everyone is a beneficiary. So
Yeah,
that's
it is very important, and community is very important. And like I always said, I would rather have one good friend than 1,000 bad friends. And finding that community is going to be hard, but it is a worthy journey to be looking on and to find that community of, people around you that you trust, respect, and that they ultimately have your back. That's one of the best feelings ever, because friendship doesn't go away. Love doesn't go away. It's one of the few things that don't require money, effort, or time really to maintain. It's still, it's it's boundless. It doesn't have a boundary. You can love somebody across the world,
Yeah.
and
Jacob put in the
I
chat,
love you back.
rather have a $1 bill over 4 quarters. So yes, it is important to pay attention to who you're surrounding yourself with. That's a good one. I have to share that. But yes, it's like, this is the symbology of a book that I read recently talked about how Jesus, for instance, was only able to perform the miracles he performed because he had the consciousness of his 12 disciples and all of his believers behind him. He had so many people who really believe. So all that belief of all the, I don't know how many people, hundreds, thousands of people, tens of thousands of people, that all that energy funneling into one person, of course, you can create miracles. And so, but the thing is realizing that we don't need to just funnel it into one person. We can all collectively be together and expand together at the same time. So all ships rise with the rising tide, right? That's how it goes. So anyway,
examples of people, like whenever I think of hard times, I think, well, Jesus has been through a harder time. You know what I mean? He literally had his body taken, staked onto a cross, and slowly died on a cross for being in a place of truth. And that must be like the worst feeling ever. That's like, imagine me like calling Bitcoin 15.5, and then it rallies up, and then I get staked on a cross.
Oh yeah. I would literally,
like,
the call we're having right now, like the things that I say on a day-to-day basis, I would have been on a cross a long time ago if I was saying the stuff at that time, And so it's
true.
We're in a new era. We're in a new world.
So I
we can say this.
Remember, Jesus kept moving forward, and like no matter who, like all the Pharisees were the people of power at that time, and they tried to make Jesus look like a bad guy many times, but ultimate and in the short term, he got some shit from a lot of people, but in the long term, look, we still talk about him and remember him to this day. And so, like, corruption and greed will and can win in the short term, but in the long term, it will always lose out, and the truth will get known. So I've had a lot of personal people attack me recently and things like that. And got a chopper going over. But I know that in my heart I'm doing the right thing and I'm coming from a place of truth. And so I'm not trying to go ahead and make justice for myself. I'm letting God and universe, with time, eventually make the justice come to light. And I'm at peace with, being down and being told, like I had one of my best friends recently, I saw him at this beach not too close by, and man, the guy wanted to punch me in the face, and it was because of like I I've it's because of telling him about some calls and then he not listening onto it, and then like thinking that I was wrong, and I was like, oh, hold on, just wait. And he had that short term where it didn't happen right immediately, but I know soon that'll happen. And so, I literally had to take one of my best friends, like, wanting to beat me up, and I'm not going to be mad at him or whatever, but I obviously let it go. And know that, in time, he's going to see that, the truth will come to light. And I'm not even going to expect an apology or think that an apology will come, although that would be icing on the cake. But Like I said, the only person I know that needs to watch me and my actions is God, and let him be, he will reward me in ways that I can't even reward myself. And that's what motivates me and keeps me going.
I love that. Yeah,
And
staying in
it's really
truth is so
important
empowering.
to find good people around you. And when you do find good people around you, speak up and tell them. A lot of people are quiet and don't say things until like people are die, and then they finally say, oh wow, what a great guy that was then. But if you have friends that are around you, call them, tell them that you love them, tell them that you appreciate them, tell them how much they mean to you. And one of the things that sticks out to me about Cody and his I guess wisdom, or just like character, or just, yeah, I guess it's like wisdom of having enough experience to know when, like, Cody could have been upset that, like, I came in and I was saying Bitcoin isn't going to go to 13K, and he could have been upset that, in the chat, that I was calling these things and it ended up going my way. But the most important thing to me is that Cody ended up changing his mind. And because he changed his mind based upon me just giving him my factual information, that gives me more respect for him than as if, you know, uh, we were both in the same mindset and just, okay, it's going up from here. The fact that he changed his mind and then went and put his money where his mouth is and bought, some Bitcoin, because that changed his mind, that shows that, he really does. He has the experience to know that he's not going to be so stubborn minded. And that is the reason why I know I could trust him again in the future, because when presented with the proper facts, he changed his mind. And now, I think he's made some money from it. And, but the main thing is, because he changed his mind is the reason why, like, some people just get so caught up in just being right themselves, and having it go their way. And if it doesn't, they'll either get upset or whatever. But I don't think that Cody's upset. He changed his mind.
One of my
And
mantras
then
that
and went.
I'm wrong. I've been wrong before, and it's really important. That's a place of learning, and that is part of why I experienced a very important part of why I experienced the life I do. And I know why you as well, because you're in the same space of like we can always learn. And especially with trading, we have to be willing to change our bias and to flip and change, because new things happen at every moment. So yeah, I just wanted to expound another good thing to practice.
Yeah. And yeah. And I just was stubborn in the way I was thinking, because of just how much it meant to me and how much time and effort I put into it. And I truly believed what I was saying 100% with my heart. And, nobody could give me um, that recognition that what I was saying was right, other than time. And time has came in and proven, but it's always after the fact, that what I was saying at the 17K and back again at the 20K, that, it's time has gone ahead and shown that, wow, I think that was the bottom, and I don't think we're going down to 17K. I don't think we're ever going below 20K. What is the price right now? We could pull some charts up and look a little bit before I
Yeah,
go,
it's
but
been pumping. It's up over 28K now.
28, I think. I
So
know
basically, you
that's
guys are saying that we're officially in the bull run now.
I'm
That
I'm still
so
thinking we could come. It's possible to get a dip, but also really, I wouldn't want to not have money in crypto right now, because it could send at any moment.
Mhm.
so Cody can explain to you my whole views on what I think is going to happen, and it's been happening almost, word for word in lockstep in action of what I've been saying is going to happen. But I do think that the the lows are for sure in. I think that we are in a bull market. Is a little bit of a different bull market than traditional bull markets, because, and Cody can explain, that we're at the tail end of the stock market top, and I think with this, that we're going to see, long story short, I think we're going to see a very rapid increase in price that's going to leave a lot of people behind. And then after we have this very rapid increase in price, I do see a toppling in traditional markets and in crypto for, I don't know, like at least 2 years of just some downtrend. But right now, and like I said, if you bought in at the 20K or bought in at the 17K, you'll never need to worry about going down on your prices ever. Like, you could just hold Bitcoin and just, it doesn't matter. You'll never go down. Obviously, if you run up to 80K, 90K, I'm going to tell you to sell it. Especially if you go up there in, the next 2 months. But, yeah, in my opinion, we are seeing an extreme amount of strength. The charts are moving upwards. We did have a little bit of a close call with the NASDAQ and the SPY like the last 2 weeks, whether because it broke through the trend line and then it came back and retested it, which happened in 2008 and in 2000. And when we came back to retest it, we actually had a false breakout and we had a breakdown, and then we went down severely from these positions. But with us holding up here and bouncing over the last week, it tells me that the rest of my plan is probably going to come into fruition, and we're going to have a very big explosion in price, not only in Bitcoin, but in the NASDAQ stocks, tech stocks and specifically, and some point altcoins are going to go nuts.
I know, that's what I'm waiting
Very,
for.
very nuts. And with XRP going over 50 cents, I know a lot of people don't like XRP, but it was the first runner last time. And it's over 50 cents, which is, I mean, pretty astonishing, amazing. But especially with this recent ETH outperformance over Bitcoin, I do see ETH continuing that outperformance, finally breaking out of this range it's been in for over a year with ETH versus Bitcoin. And like I was saying, ETH moves alts. And when ETH makes this move against Bitcoin, that's when you're going to see the 300 to 800% pumps in a lot of these, 90% down altcoins. But it's going to happen so fast that unless you're in now, you're in at the bad news, you're in the depression, you're in the uncertainty, you're going to get caught up and left behind unless you wait for the first pump. But then it's going to be hard because you're going to have to buy a pump, you know what I mean? And buying a pump in a bull market can be very, very rewarding. But like I said, I think it's going to be very, very fast, especially when the alt season goes. Nothing moves faster than altcoins. And so
Yep.
I want us all to be positioned appropriately. I want us all to win. I want us all to, we're not even taking money from anybody. We're taking money from hedge funds and billionaires and the government at this point, because they're the ones that caused this crash. And, when you're going to be counter trading the news when you're doing this. So, and like I said, the next time you see the news saying recession is thwarted and there's no longer going to be a recession, that's when you need to be very, very cautious and start scaling out. But you're not going to see that news until the all-time high. And it's crazy. Like if you were to just buy the worst news possible, the war, the 2023 is going to be one straight recession. And it was, I mean, the news was so bad when I was calling the bottom at 17K, 16K, right? I've even called it in the hour at 15.5. And I made a public video about it and I posted it. The sentiment was just so bad that nobody wanted to hear it. It was almost like I was just slapping all my friends and family in the face. And so, and that was tough, you know what I mean, to do that. And Cody knows, like I got a message from my twin brother, just pretty much like an hysterical, like, crypto, we're all gonna die, like recession 2023. But he's a real estate guy, you know, he doesn't know anything. I mean, he has a master's in finance, which is insane, you know what I mean? And you know, he hasn't called me or texted me saying sorry. You know, I guess Bitcoin went on 100% rally since then. But you know, like if he wants to do that, that's fine. But if not, like, you know, my connections with God, and I'm being rewarded silently, and you know, I'm gonna take some nice trips soon. I've been eating pretty good. I'm enjoying my life, and I've cut out a lot of the negative and bullshit that's in my life, and I'm, you know, starting to find a good community of people, and I'm starting to be very selective and pick my way through this life, and you know, I'm gonna continue to put my best foot forward every single day.
Let's go. Yeah, so I on that note, I just posted to the Discord, but Rune seems to be, I'm looking at kind of a higher time frame downtrend and seems to be breaking out of it right now. So daily hasn't closed yet, but on the 4-hour it's already broken out. So to me, I've been talking about this one for a while, and I'll continue to talk about it. But then I love Bitcoin, and I'm always loading up, and you know, my intentions with buying these different altcoins are because I believe that my money will go further than if I were to just buy Bitcoin. But I'm doing that so that I can transfer it over into Bitcoin. So that's my main reasoning. And within a couple of years or so, my intention is to be fully living off of crypto, no banks. Just got to figure out the business aspect, but I got a couple years. Anyways, beyond the point, Bitcoin is pumped, and also it's the most famous, and so that's why, you know, there's a lot more money in it, and of course there's a lot more money that's going to flow into it. And it will go very, very high over the next 10 years. But once again, especially over this bull run, and I'm talking like short-term trades over the next year or two, you have a better chance or better opportunity in a lot of altcoins for return than Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Also, though, you're risking more because they're not as guaranteed. So it's best to, the way I'm playing it is I put money in that of course, you know, if I lost it, it is what it is. I'll be okay. But especially the ones that are higher risk, I won't. That's why I only invest into projects that are adding value and are building things.
I actually have a question. I remember that you guys mentioned how, you know, like how you think that there might be like another pump in altcoins and stuff like that. Do you think there'll be a pump on the old altcoins that had a huge pump and then it got dumped? Or do you think it'll just be a new pump on brand new altcoins?
Like dinosaur coins, like
I'll give you an example.
Classic,
Like one example is like VeChain. Like I bought VeChain when it was like at a, like when it was like a pretty high price. And then long story short,
Ooh.
like I didn't technically sell it. It's still there. But obviously I lost a lot of money off of that. I was like, oh man. But I was just kind of curious as that as an example. Do you think that will pump again?
Your VeChain is, well, one of the few coins that I do own a good amount in. And I am in an extreme amount of profit even at this point with VeChain. For clarity purposes, I put about $12,500 into VeChain a long time ago. It went up to $250,000 within a very short amount of time. and I'm sitting somewhere at like a 2 or 3x from my original position right now. And VeChain has a lot of utility, so just hold on to that one. I do see VeChain breaking that $1 mark in the future.
Okay,
So hang on.
because for me, I forgot how much I put. I think I bought like $3,500 worth of VeChain, and it's like down to like 800, but it's still
Yeah,
there though.
well, it's because it took a 95 whatever percent dump.
Yeah.
You know, but that's fine. I would definitely tell you not to sell now. I would tell
Okay.
you to add in more now so that your average is lower than what you originally went in on. Especially if you believe in VeChain and you believe in its long-term vision, which I personally do. I think VeChain is a phenomenal project. I like to buy in
Mhm.
projects that are phenomenal, and I think that they have a future. I don't think all coins are going to come back. I don't think Luna Classic is going to come back. I don't think I
Bless
don't
you. Bless you.
I don't even think um I don't even think Shiba and Dogecoin should come back. Although if the devil Elon Musk wants to do it, it would just be like the biggest slap in the face to cryptocurrency and all his followers and all the people to pump Dogecoin again because it's a complete shitcoin. But I don't think that a lot of the coins will come back. But I do think the solid projects will come back in V.
Oh, he cut out. Yeah, I
Oh
gotta.
no.
It's okay. But I second his opinion. That's why it's always good to only invest in things that are adding value, that are building. And
Mhm.
so, yeah, the VeChain, honestly, what I would do, it's pretty good chart. Like this is the best time to buy. We haven't been this low in a while. So I 100% would, like, even if it was just another $1,000,
Mhm.
just put it in and or build your way up or whatever, and just sit on it, like wait. So that'll put your holdings, that'll more than double the amount of coins that you have, and so you'll get
Okay.
into profit sooner because it'll be like, your average price, like he was saying, will come down, right?
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah,
I forgot. There's actually another question. So
yeah,
one of the other altcoins I have invested in is Cardano. What are your thoughts on that one?
yeah. Cardano will come up, sure. I'm sure they're really good with their marketing, and
I don't even remember why I bought that one. I remember now because a bunch of people told me to buy it. I didn't
are
really
you
know
down on that
anything
one
much
too?
about it. Yeah.
Yeah, heck yeah. Well, at least we're telling you this is the best time. Like, now is the time to buy.
Okay.
But I mean, you can see this chart, you can see why,
Mhm.
we want to buy when
So
it's.
I guess I was like wondering if like those kind of like coins like Cardano, Solana, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like VeChain, like those are the ones that I have like invested as an example. Like
just
because
hold.
I okay.
Hold or buy, even buy more. Everyone that you named, hold it or buy more.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
it'll definitely, it could take, the next year, 2 years. I think that the Bitcoin halving it's next year, and usually the market pumps really strong after that. So I think it's possible that we pump around or even up into
Yeah.
that. I think a lot of people are expecting it, and so I think we'll pump
Yeah.
before maybe. Um,
So I have a question. Given the price of Bitcoin right now, what is it like $28,000 at the moment?
yeah,
Okay, I have some invested, not like a crazy amount, but I do have some.
yeah,
Like and I also bought some when it was a lower price as well. Do you think it's too expensive right now to put a little bit more money now that I have a little more freedom with money because I paid off my debt? Like, do
for
you think it's too
sure.
expensive?
Well, good. That's a good question. So I I don't like in the long term, and I would say it could be 10 years, maybe 20, could be less. Some people think way less, but I think Bitcoin's gonna hit like 2, 3, $4 million a coin. And so it
Mhm.
depends on how long your view is. So if you're looking like, I'm buying in, this is like for my retirement, 5, 10 years plus. yeah, now's a good time. But if we're looking at trading, if we're looking, let's say over the next few months or a year, even though, yeah, it's up today. Actually, I want to keep that. Oh, I deleted my magnet. I still think we could come down to 25K. Looking at just the charts, just support and resistance, we can see that we're right at this yellow line that I drew, which is where we experienced support here in 2021, 2021 2 or 3 times. And we also paused here in 2022. So to me, it's like until as a trader, looking at this as a trader, just being logical, until we break above that, technically we're at a resistance level and it's not smart to buy anything at resistance as a trader. So those are my 2 answers. So that means like as a trader, if I'm following my rules, that means I'm either gonna, with Bitcoin, buy higher because it's gonna break out, or it's gonna come down, I'm gonna buy lower.
Mm-hmm.
But the
awesome.
altcoins,
thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely. We're showing on altcoins, like one of my favorite is Rune, and Rune's been around just as long as Solana. I think it's really good. It's really powerful. And then you guys saw I posted an article, maybe you didn't see, but go check it out in the Discord, in the crypto news section. If you scroll up, it's at the top. I posted an article about the coin I think is going to go to 100x, most likely to go 100x. You've heard me talk about it in the calls and stuff. I have a portfolio of coins that I've went and I took a bunch of time and I've done a bunch of research and I'm taking the time to write articles. I'm going to release them slowly over the next probably few months. I'm going to use it to market as well, of course, on Instagram. But you guys, being a member of Atlantis, you'll get access to all of them. These are the coins, the top 10 coins that I would invest in. And me personally, there's thousands of coins, and there's probably thousands of them that are, if you were to buy right now, they will go up. The thing though is when there is people's like diversify, but there is too much as over diversifying and trying to chase things. And so I've made way more money in crypto by focusing my money into a smaller amount of coins that all had awesome potential than I did trying to like spread my money out thin, 500 there, 500 there, and then hoping one hits the lottery, Instead, I just focus my money and then I watch it increase and then take it out when it's time. So of course, as I am, you guys know I'm like really, if you watch my trading or my calls and stuff, you know that I'm really cautious. Like I'll say, hey, it could stop here, and I might change my mind from one day to the next. And that's because the price is always moving. And my intention is to, I'm a really good risk manager. So my intention is to make sure that, even if it means we have to exit a trade and we miss out on it, at least we're not letting our account go down too much. I want to make sure that, I still have a portfolio to trade in a year or a couple years. And if I just go all in on something, and I'm not watching my risk, I'm not going to have the money. Potentially I'm risking it, so I might not have the money to even trade in a few months. And my intention is to stay in the game long term. There will always be another trade, even though we're like, this is really exciting. You're like, hey, I need to put all my money in crypto right now. It's probably how you feel. This is a market that's going to be going for our entire lifetimes, and we're in the baby stages of it. So yeah. Hey there, you going to town? Okay. Yeah. Well, with that, I'm feeling pretty good, pretty expressed. We went over a lot of stuff today. If you didn't see in the beginning, I'm gonna post a recording. We went over consciousness, the map of consciousness, and what that means. And even if you want to watch it again, I'll post that a little later. But yeah, rewatch it. It's super dope. Stay tuned for articles. Oh yeah, giveaway is, I think we're gonna do it on Friday. $1,000 giveaway. So just being a member of Atlantis, you'll be entered into the giveaway. So yeah, pay attention to that. And yeah, that's all. Appreciate you guys. If any questions or anything come up, of course, just reach out. Oh wait, one more thing. Ascended Trader 2.0 is launching, and the whole intention of Ascended Trader 2.0, we're officially launching on the 1st. But we are creating this fund. Some of you have read about it, and it's time. We're ready. I have all the pieces in place. We need more solid people, definitely more traders who are consistently profitable. So I brought on a bunch of team members. redesigning everything, and we're preparing this. We created a Center Trader 2.0 to make sure that we find that team, and that it's a 90-day program, which we had before, but to get people to be profitable ASAP. I brought on a friend who's a certified master practitioner in NLP, which is reprogramming the subconscious mind. I brought on some amazing friends. You guys know Zach. Zach's going to help. He's in the group. He's been trading for about 7 years as well. Amala is going to be present for it, and some really, really, really cool stuff. So we need within the next, we're going to start building the software of Atlantis by the end of May. So we need the team to be ready, up and going and trading like this year. So this is we created a group to just like, you know, we're only going for high people who are already in an abundant state, comfortable financially. So if you feel that you're in a good spot, if you're not yet profitable trading, if you've had mentorship from me before, if you're in a mentorship right now, ignore this. But if you want to be profitable, guaranteed to be invited to be on this team, reach out to me. Let's chat. Let's see if it's a good fit. The mentorship's not free, that's for sure. If I've coached you before, if you got my course before, you'll get a credit towards it. But only if you want to take this to the highest level. This fund is we're going to change at least our world around us. It might be the whole world, but we're creating a system where we can have access to everything and own nothing. We're creating a system whereby anyone can invest their money and own everything that everyone has access to. So it's like a bank, but we all own it, right? We need profitable traders. We need conscious people that want to make an impact and want to give back. We're going to make this available for even if someone who only has 200 pesos to invest, $10, they can invest and they can take part in all these systems that banks have been and governments have been screwing people over with for hundreds of years. It's time. We're in a new world. It's time to create something that's more win-win, more abundant, more expansive. So just send me a message. The best would be Instagram. I'm really busy. Got a lot of people hit me up. So it's either going to be me or my assistant who will get back to you to send you a link to get on my calendar. So, okay, I got to go. I love you all. Appreciate you all. Sending blessings. I'll talk to you soon. Okay.